This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. When you sign up at the link in the description, you'll also get access to Nebula, a new streaming platform that I am a part of. More on that at the end of the video. Previously on Patrick Explains.
I haven't seen you in months. Ever since that video you recorded took off, you haven't even answered our calls.
Okay, sorry guys, I've got to run. I'm a guest on Logan Paul's podcast. My publicist will be in touch about coordinating my next visit.
Patrick has a publicist?
Yeah, so I was thinking, what if I started vaping? No, I don't smoke or anything. I was just thinking, this could be good for my image.
Hey, Patrick. The YouTube thing really worked out, eh?
Sage, my dude, my man, come on in. Let me show you the new place.
So what's been going on? You've been pumping out more of that sweet, sweet content?
Well, actually, I've been thinking a lot about Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts? You mean those weird Disney Final Fantasy mashup games?
Oh, they are way more than that. Playing Kingdom Hearts was a formative experience for me. They're wildly absurd and absolutely heartbreaking at the same time. Kingdom Hearts is a miracle, and today, we're gonna talk about why. The Kingdom Hearts franchise spans 11 games on nearly as many platforms and has been producing content in one continuous story for 17 years, something almost no other video game franchise can boast. It has some of the best music and gameplay in the medium and a truly resonant story about depression, nostalgia, and the power of friendship.
Ugh.
What?
It's just, all I've ever heard about these games is that they're ridiculously sappy.
Well, no more than Paddington.
I hate you.
Okay, yeah, these games have very sappy, melodramatic dialogue, and while I wouldn't say the dialogue is well written, the overarching story is phenomenal, imaginative, and affecting.
Oh, please, please do not explain the entire plot of Kingdom Hearts to me. I beg you.
Relax, I hate just summarizing things. And besides, there's already like a million videos on the internet that already explain it. Kingdom Hearts is an absurdly convoluted story. It involves time travel, teleportation, magic, cloning, body snatching, and a frankly inexcusable amount of amnesia. So instead of going through all that, I'll just give you a 3-sentence summary.
I'd really prefer if you didn't.
Long ago, there was a big magical battle that nearly destroyed everything called the Keyblade War. In the present, an evil wizard bad guy, mostly voiced by Leonard Nimoy but then replaced by Rutger Hauer, wants to recreate the conditions of that battle for reasons that aren't entirely clear until the end, but in his efforts to do this, he screws up the lives of 3 trios of young heroes, so it's all up to the world's dumbest little dum-dum to undo it all by traveling to various Disney-inspired worlds, beating up monsters, and giving speeches about the power of friendship.
My friends are my power.
This sounds kind of generic.
Yeah, I mean, the basic plot is, but what these games succeed at most is making you feel attached to the characters and invested in their happiness.
So like, Donald and Goofy?
Like Sora and Riku.
Who?
Sora is the main character, and much of his story is about finding his best friend, Riku, who falls to the dark side.
Okay, so like, Captain America and Bucky?
Actually, yeah, exactly like that. Sora is basically Captain America, but a kid. There are people who always do the right thing and will go the distance to make sure their friends are safe. The difference is with Riku and Bucky. Unlike Bucky, Riku makes the choice to go bad on his own, but both eventually have their agency ripped from them and must struggle to take control over themselves again. And actually, both pairs of characters portray relationships that are pretty rare in media. The friendship between 2 male characters who are equals. The hook of these entire games is that you play them for hundreds of hours solely so that you can save Riku from himself.
So why does Riku go bad?
Well, depression.
Really? I thought these were supposed to be lighthearted Disney games.
They are. I mean, you get to hang out with Winnie the Pooh. It's cute. But the main enemies are the literal embodiments of darkness. The game starts on this beautiful paradise called Destiny Islands, where you and a bunch of other kids hang out in this giant beachside treehouse. It's as magical a place as the Shire, but all Riku can talk about is leaving. He's profoundly unsatisfied with his life and yearns to have more power over the world. To get that, he essentially sells his soul and uses dark magic to become more powerful until it completely consumes him. I can't tell you how much of a twist of the knife it is to play this game as a 12-year-old and have your best friend, a character you are conditioned to look up to and admire, turn around and betray and abandon you.
Okay, so how does the whole Disney crossover work anyway?
It's actually not as absurd an idea as it sounds to have Disney and Final Fantasy exist in the same universe.
Why not?
Because most of it is all coming from the same source material. A lot of the Disney properties are based on mythology and fairy tales. And the reason Final Fantasy is called Final Fantasy is because it's based on The Lord of the Rings, which is also based on mythology and fairy tales. So while the two properties are very tonally and aesthetically distinct, they've got the same roots.
All these Disney worlds, it's just nostalgia bait, right?
What isn't these days? Let's talk about the nostalgia factor. Square Enix could have easily phoned this one in. They could have put a bunch of Disney mini-games in a box, shipped it, and made millions. But instead, writer-director Tetsuya Nomura took the most absurd assignment ever given to a game director, constructed a world where the crossover made sense, and wound up telling a tale that didn't just use nostalgia, but is actually about nostalgia. The opening of the first game is incredibly slow, but it's all about getting the player attached to Destiny Islands and understanding why Sora wants to get back there. The prologue ends with the island getting annihilated by the creatures called the Heartless.
Heartless? That's really what they're called?
Roll with it. Everything in this universe has a very literal name that is also somehow entirely backwards. The Heartless are actually hearts that lack a body, and later there's an enemy that's called a nobody that's actually a body lacking a heart.
Okay, that's amazing.
But to get back to the nostalgia point, Sora's main goal in the games is to find his friends and get them back to Destiny Islands so that he can reconstruct the past he lost. He is nostalgic for that place in the same way that the player is nostalgic for the Disney-themed worlds. As a result, the player's emotions and desires are at odds with the character. The player who bought this game because of their nostalgia for Disney films will want to linger as long as possible in these pleasant little fantasies that remind them of their own childhood. You want to run down every street of Agrabah and through every door in Wonderland. But Sora doesn't. Deep down, Sora wants to bulldoze through all of these obstacles so that he can find Riku and Kairi and get back home. This is a role-playing game that puts your desires directly at odds with the character you are role-playing. And that emotional dissonance is part of what makes the game so engaging. You're struck by this simultaneous desire to look around and to rush forward. You get to go to all of the Disney worlds you loved as a kid, but only while playing a character who, despite outward appearances, is extremely sad. This is what actually makes Sora a somewhat subversive character. We have a typical story of the male character on the search for his loved ones, but instead of reverting to an animalistic rage ball that so many hyper-masculine characters do in that situation, Sora is patient, kind, and empathetic. Even though he is the world's dumbest little dum-dum, he's a really positive character to look up to.
What makes Sora so dumb?
He's just confused by literally everything that ever happens to him.
Are you Maleficent?
So yeah, he ain't super bright, but he is also the world's greatest friend. These games are extremely sentimental, but that's a huge part of their charm. It's a huge part of why the games have affected people so deeply. The characters love each other explicitly and outwardly. They're vulnerable and they deal with heavy topics like depression. And those really personal battles are externalized by having them fight off all these monsters that metaphorically stand in for their inner troubles. Kingdom Hearts is comfort food entertainment, but it's the best kind of comfort food. It's a game that tells you that no matter what you're going through, there's a way out of that, even if it's not necessarily back to the way you hoped it would be. As Mickey Mouse says, there will always be a door to the light.
Huh.
Yeah. And that's not even really getting into the sequels and spin-offs.
Okay, what happens in these sequels?
Things get convoluted real fast. You basically just gotta get on board with the idea that a person's heart and a person's body can be their own living, breathing, independent characters, because a lot of the plot twists in the franchise are like, actually, this guy is really the heart of this other guy who got separated from this guy, and he's actually the body of this other character, and it just goes on like that. Nomura, crazy man that he is, basically stuck this universe's version of the Silmarillion on the mobile and browser game. The spin-offs get obsessed with the idea of simulated realities. You can travel through memories in Chain of Memories, virtual reality in Recoded, and dream worlds in Dream Drop Distance. Oh, and the timeline gets completely fucked in that game when it's revealed that the main antagonist can time travel, and he's been recruiting alternate versions of himself to form his own Legion of Doom of himself to fight the heroes. It's ridiculous.
One of the games is called Dream Drop Distance?
Okay, look. A lot of these games have really weird titles, and it's part of the reason American audiences find them so unapproachable. But if you don't like them, no offense, but you have boring taste and I don't want to be friends with you.
Where have I heard that before? Okay, so what are some of these other titles?
Okay, so one of them is called Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
Wait, why is there math?
Yeah, and another one of them is called Kingdom Hearts 2.8
Decimals?
Final Chapter Prologue.
Well, I guess we can't be friends. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do want to play these games, but those titles are very silly.
Okay, well, you like the Fast and the Furious franchise, and those titles are no less ridiculous.
God damn it. Wait. Okay. Why are we sitting around here talking like a bunch of goobers? I want to play Kingdom Hearts. I want to whack a Heartless with a Keyblade. I want to know what that means. I want to save Riku.
It's done. He should be occupied for at least a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Sage. Now we can finally have some peace and quiet around here.
Ready to hit the court?
Let's go!
Okay, the sunglasses are off. It's real me again, not fictional me. Now, stick with me because this part is important. So CuriosityStream has always been this great streaming service dedicated to nonfiction, with thousands of documentaries about science, history, nature, and all that good stuff. A monthly or yearly subscription has always been a ridiculously good deal, but that deal just got a lot better. Because now, if you sign up for CuriosityStream at curiositystream.com/Patrick H. Willems, my name, you'll also get unlimited access to Nebula, a brand new streaming service in which I was actually involved in the development. Nebula is a place where you can find a ton of your favorite YouTube creators. All our videos are there, but ad-free. So there's me, Just Right, Lindsay Ellis, Lessons from the Screenplay, H Bomber Guy, Legal Eagle, and so many more. But aside from our videos that you already watch on YouTube, a bunch of us are making new, original stuff only for Nebula. For instance, there's a series called Working Titles, where each episode is about analyzing a different classic TV show title sequence, and each episode is by a different creator. I just made an episode about the 90s X-Men show. Sage, who you just saw in this video, did one about the intro for Batman the Animated Series. So what I'm saying is, there are brand new videos by me and Just Right and other channels like Captain Midnight and Polyphonic available now for you to watch. And Nebula will continue to be a place where we can experiment and try new types of videos without having to worry about that pesky YouTube algorithm. There's very cool stuff happening here. We're all really excited about it, so I recommend you get in now. Again, go to curiositystream.com/Patrick H. Willems. You'll get a CuriosityStream subscription plus unlimited access to Nebula. I've got a brand new video that you haven't even seen yet. Go watch it. Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you so much for watching, and I really want to thank Sage for collaborating with me on this video. I had been nagging him since January to make a video about Kingdom Hearts because he loves it and I've always been confused by it. And since we were both going to be in California for VidCon, the perfect opportunity presented itself. And so this was a lot of fun to make, and hopefully you'll get the next episode in this series in the near future. I also want to say thank you for all the really kind words about the last video, the Kiki's Delivery Service one. You're all very nice. I was really moved by the response to it. And I know that there's already, I just released this video now, but I am taking it a bit easier. The next month will be a little lighter than normal so I can kind of recharge and, you know, stop being so tired. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, there is cool stuff coming soon. You may have seen on the Patreon, we hit the goal, at which point I will take my parents to see Avengers Endgame and make a video about it. And if you're wondering what we're gonna do about that since the movie is no longer in theaters, don't worry, we got it covered. Anyway, if you want to support the channel and get access to a bunch of cool exclusive stuff and early announcements, you should join us on the Patreon. Follow me on all the social media links, listen to the Infinity Podcast and Can't Get Enough of Keanu, new episodes every single week, chat about the videos and the podcast and anything else in our subreddit, r/Thrillums. Okay, I think that is everything. Thank you again for watching. Good night, goodbye everyone, and I'll see you soon.